one for all of you. I would request all the participants to be on mute and stay connected till the end with us. And we will have a Q&A session at the end of every part of the presentation, or probably at the end. Participants can leave their questions in the chat box. In case any question is unanswered, we will reply to you over a group email. I would like the audience to know KC GlobEd team. We have CA Santosh Chandrasekhar. He's a chartered accountant with extensive experience of more than 13 years. He works with the top level management of the leading investment banking firm, State Street Global Advisors. He is one of the most appreciated and strongest pillar of the team and our guest faculty. Hi, Santosh.
Hi.
Thank you for making for this webinar. And I thank Sir Professor Naveen Sriram. He's an expert in education trends since 2 decades with extensive work experience and entrepreneurial skills, associated with prestigious universities and hold extraordinary excellence in chartered accountancy coaching. Sir, we're glad to have you.
Thank you. Welcome all.
And thank you, sir. Thank you for making our time for this webinar. And myself, Priyanka Jory, I'm Manager Marketing and Counselors with KC GlobEd, was associated for more than 12 years with the Big Four consulting firms and have wide working experience in the Indian and international landscape, also an attorney with the Indian courts. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Kamal Chhabra, the CEO and lead instructor at KC GlobEd. He's a chartered accountant and has an extensive work experience and training experience around for more than 15 years in the Indian and international landscape. He has worked with top-notch companies around the globe and has achieved astounding awards for his work from every organization he was associated with. He has an exemplary enthusiasm and passion towards teaching with a vision of one globe, one education. Handing over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Priyanka. Thank you everyone for your precious time you've taken out. I'm sure like this webinar, next 60 minutes or 65 minutes, what we are spending together would worth spending those time and will definitely give some value addition insight about knowing anything and everything about the US CPA program. So without like wasting much of your time, I'll directly jump into the agenda item for the today's program. How we made this agenda is basically based on like literally the question what we receive from each and individual candidate. So we tried to sum up all the question in the 5 bucket, which will definitely cover 80 to 85% of what you want to know about US CPA. And I'm sure after that there would be like 10 to 15% of the question which may not be covered in this webinar, which you probably have for your individual understanding. So feel free to type those questions as and when we move, or as and when it comes in your thought in the chat box, so that we can take up all your questions. So anytime during the webinar you are having any question, feel free to type in the chat box, and after all our webinar we'll be having comfortable time to take care or to respond to all your question based on our earlier experience. But still, like as Priyanka said, if there would be any unanswered question, we'll definitely get back to you through the email to all of you, right? So generally, what all question we receive from student, why one should think about doing a US CPA, why it's important for me, why I should choose this path to build my career. So that's the first question generally came in the mind of any candidate or any student who are looking for any international career program or any program in the commerce, accounts and finance field, right? So we'll try to answer this question first, so that if you are comfortable why you should think about US CPA, then probably making rest of the thing would be easy for you to understand, right? First, when the student or candidate understand why he or she should do US CPA, the next question naturally arises, what is in US CPA? Basically, what is the content, what is the exam pattern, who is the governing body, how these exams happen and all those stuff. So that comes in our second agenda item, which will be covering anything and everything relating to what is in US CPA and what all expertise you will be getting by doing a US CPA. Then third question which naturally arises after that, how I can be a US CPA. What is the process of becoming a US CPA? Whether I am being eligible to do US CPA or not. What is the eligibility criteria? And what is the overall nuts and bolts and process of doing the US CPA program? So once like candidate understand and feel comfortable about why he or she should choose US CPA as a career path, then what is in US CPA and how to become US CPA? The next question arises, why I should choose kcglobed as my partner in the journey of US CPA study, right? We'll be discussing all those, like you can say unique selling proposition, or maybe key differentiator, what we have from the competitor, or maybe you can say what all things we have in our plate to offer you, so that you feel comfortable to take your decision. And then lastly, as we all are Indian, we are more concerned about the cost. So last thing is, what is the overall cost? What is like tuition fees? What is the examination fees? What is the admission fees, and how it works? So that's would be covering in the fifth agenda item. But I'm sure there would be some other question would be popping up in your mind. So feel free to type those questions in the chat box. After all these 5 agenda items, we'll be definitely having a good amount of time to take care of all your questions. But still, if there would be any unanswered question, we'll definitely get back to you through the email. Cool? Ready to dive in? Thank you. So why one should think about doing a US CPA? That's the most important question one should ask to himself or herself. The reason being why one should think about US CPA, it has a global acceptability. Why I'm saying so, it has a global acceptability, there are many facts behind this. The key facts, if you look at in India market, almost 70 to 75% MNCs are US based MNCs. Who are dominating Indian market are majorly from the US based MNC. You look at any product, you look at any services, you look at anything, you like it or you don't like it, it's coming through some or the other way from the US based company. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's your laptop, whether it's HP, Lenovo, Dell, or Intel, or any technology, or the platform in which you work, like Google, or maybe any big bank. If you look at Bank of America, American Express, they all are like US based MNC, right? And the big investor also are from the US only. We'll be go through the detailed fact pattern from which are based on like FICCI report and many other, you can say, authentic report of the Indian government. So you get to know why I'm saying so. It's very important and very prevalent in India, and how it has a global acceptability to this program. So across the globe, if you see, almost 34% of MNCs are US based MNC. If you look at the data of Fortune 500, you will see almost the 70% of the Fortune 500 companies are US based MNC. So that make this program a global acceptable. And second key thing over here, the institute who provide this CPA certification, like in India, how we have Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. In US, we have American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. So that institute has a memorandum of understanding with almost all the countries, so that if a student or if a candidate is a US CPA, he would be considered as equivalent CPA or chartered accountant in the respective countries. So that's how it make it more global acceptable. By doing this curriculum, by doing this program, you can build your career both in India as well as international. Like we discussed, almost across the globe, more than 34% MNCs are US based MNC, and they all are looking for US CPA for the different program or maybe in a different domain. If you look at accounting, they like, even though the companies who are in India are reporting to the US, they need to maintain their accounts in US GAAP, or they need to report their accounts into the US GAAP. Same way, the internal control framework. So the company who are US based MNC, they are looking for the people who are having a comfortable knowledge or deep understanding about how to maintain internal controls, how to maintain the risk, how to mitigate those risks, and understanding about the US taxation, and understanding about the US GAAP, understanding about the US, how US companies work, both in India and international, like I said. By doing this program, you will get an opportunity to work in US based MNCs, as well as you can do your own US CPA practice. Yes, you can do your US CPA practice both in India, US, or anywhere in the world. So you are free to do your own US based US practice, US CPA practice across the globe. There is no residential requirement that a person can do US CPA practice only in US, right? And same way, by looking at all these factors, this is the course which is in highest demand in the world at this point of time and has very high growth potential since from the day one. And why it's being so important to look at to build your career in US CPA, because it has only 4 exams. And now those 4 exams are happening right here in India, which has started recently from July 2020 only. So it's a golden opportunity for each one of us to encash and get this US CPA certification as early as possible, because it can be done in 6 to 12 months very easily and very comfortably. I'll be moving on to the next slide. Feel free to type any question you have in the chat box. We'll be definitely covering after all the slides are done. These all are 8 examination centers which are in India. So the people who are living in North India, the closest one is Gurugram. The people who are in Bangalore area, so you have your examination center in Bangalore itself. The people from Kolkata, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Chennai and Trivandrum, you have all the centers near to your home. So you don't need to visit US or to Dubai where exams were happening earlier. Now in these 8 center, exams are happening right here in India. Moving on to the next slide, as we all are commerce student, we believe in numbers and facts, and we trust more on authentic sources rather than just saying the words. So that's how, like, we took couple of data from the very authentic resources. These all data is coming directly from the NASBA, which is examination body of AICPA. It is showing the quarter-on-quarter trend, how many number of students in US are appearing for US CPA exam and how many number of students are appearing for US CPA exam internationally. In the international exams, from the international bucket, almost 80% of the students are from India. So if you see, the trend is continuously increasing, except Q1, Q2, which we all know because of COVID situation, things gone down. But otherwise, if you look, the trend is continuously increasing. In Q4 2019, the student appeared were 34,000, whereas if you see Q3 2020, which still have some impact of COVID, the overall student who appear for exam is 44,000 plus. And only the October, November data, the 2 months data, if you see, is 36,000 plus, and most of the volume generally come in the last month. So in the Q4 2020, almost 50,000 students have set for the US CPA exam. So trend is continuously increasing. Why the trend increase? We all are commerce students. We know when the demand is high and supply is low, then only trend moved up. Same way, whenever the demand is high for any job and supply for that skill set is low, you will get a high paid salary as well. So at this point of time, if you look at 21, 22, these are the year in which you can get the premium, in which you can avail the benefit of short of supply and high demand. So these are the year in which you can easily start up your career with a US CPA and build a high reputed, you can say, clientage, as well as you can do your own job in the different part of the world, in all the MNCs in the world, right? So moving on to the next fact pattern, which these all data is taken from FICCI report, which you all know is very authentic source from the Indian government itself. So if you look at like FDI inflow, this is direct inflow from US to India. If you see last 20-year trend, more than 45% of FDI inflow overall India is coming directly from US. So US has the main FDI contributor for India, one thing. And second thing, if you look at the trend from 2000 to 2005, there was 20 billion investment from US to India, and now it is 270 billion or more than that. And if you look at these data is from FICCI report of October 12, 2020. And if you look at the current year data of 2020, we have received more than 40 billion of investment from US FDI. right? The major investment which you have all heard about, the Facebook, who has invested 10 billion along with the GEO. The major investment has coming, the Google is coming up with the second largest office in India. Same way, Amazon is also setting up second largest office in the world in India. Same way, Intel and Tesla, we recently heard about Tesla is coming up with the EV production in India. So these all big US based company required a lot of US CPA. Moving on to the next slide is again some other fact pattern which is coming through the number, and it's all coming from the FICCI report of October 12, 2020. This is the last 5-year trend of the bilateral trade what US and India have. If you see in 2014-15 we have like 64 billion trade, and which has increased to 88 billion trade. That shows how much trust and strength we both partner with each other. These all facts definitely give you some background why I'm saying so is US CPA is most rewarding, or you can say most attractive from the employer standpoint of view, and most rewarding from the employee standpoint of view is the career choice at this point of time. So these all are the company who hire US CPA in India. These all are just few top brands. There are so many other, but considering the restriction or maybe space limitation, these are few companies. We have put it down their logos for your ready reference so that you can correlate. I'm sure almost in all these companies or some of the other companies, some of your relative, friends or family member might be working. So you can easily correlate what all companies hire US CPA. If you look at big accounting firm, Deloitte, EY, PwC, KPMG, Grant Thornton, BDO, Mazars, and many more. So these all companies have their offshore center in India, and they require thousands of CPA every year. To be very honest with you, in next 3 to 5 years, only these accounting firms required more than 65,000 CPAs. That's a big demand, and you have seen in India only 1,500 to 2,000 people are appearing for exam every quarter. That means if 6,000 people in a year is appearing for exam, and the demand is more than 60,000 for next 3 years, so you can imagine how much good you will be paid off for it, right? If you look at financial services, which include like World Bank Group, Bank of America, American Express, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, HSBC, Citigroup, Master Group, Bloomberg, they all hire n number of US CPA every year. And if you look at Fortune 500 company, which we were discussing about earlier, like Amazon, Accenture, Apple, Caterpillar, Uber, IBM, JLL, Google, FedEx, Coke, they all hire so many US CPA every year, and demand is always on. If you look at last 10-year data, they are hiring the utmost the US CPA in India. One another beauty, I'll tell you, this course is nothing new in India. It's being in India from 1997. It's almost 23 years. People are doing US CPA. In last 23 years, more than 50,000 CPA has been passed from India. And you believe the research which we did internally as well as from the research company, we got to know from those 50,000 CPA, almost 41,000 are very well settled across the globe, and 9,000 are still working in India at very, very high level in the organization, majorly at the management level. So you can imagine the growth potential by looking at the historical trend. If you see in last 23 years, we have more than 50,000 CPA in India, out of which more than 41,000 CPA are working outside India already. And 9,000 plus CPA who are working in India, they all are almost in the management category. So that's how this overall curriculum make it more interesting and attractive for each commerce student, to be very honest with you. I think I covered why one should think about US CPA. If you guys have any doubt, any question, feel free to type in chat box, and we'll be moving on to the next agenda item. Now we understand why I should think about choosing US CPA as my career option. The next question arises, what is in US CPA? So like we discussed earlier, in India, we have Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, who is the governing body for the Chartered Accountant in India. In US, we have American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. In short, we call AICPA. That's the main governing body. But other than that, in US, there are 55 states, and every state have their state board of accounting. So these two would be the governing body of US CPAs. And after doing a US CPA, you will be getting an expertise in US GAAP, which is US Generally Accepted Accounting Principle, and IFRS, which is International Financial Reporting Standard. That give you a deep understanding about US accounting process as well as accounting standard, and it will give you a deep understanding about how internationally financial reporting works. So it will give you the deep understanding of both the GAAPs, US GAAP as well as International Financial Reporting Standard, so that you can customize, your curriculum is customized in such a manner that you can accommodate in any part of the world. Second is about the PCOB and AICPA audit rules and regulations or auditing standard. Like how in India, we have Institute of Chartered Accountant of India that issue auditing standard for us to audit the private company, and how we have SEBI in India who issue the auditing standard to audit the listed company who are listed with SEBI. Same way in US, we have PCOB, Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. They issue the auditing standard how to audit listed company, and AICPA, which is American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, they issue auditing standard how to audit a private company. So these two rules and regulation are the toughest rules and regulation in the world. So if you get an expertise in auditing standard relating to PCOB and AICPA, you can audit any company across the world. So that's the beauty of this course. The curriculum is being made in such a fashion that it will make you on the top-notch thing, whether it's an accounting understanding, whether it's an auditing understanding, or maybe next we are covering to SEC rules regulation or US taxation. We'll get into that detail as well. So how like SEC rules and regulation are? What is SEC rules and regulation are? Like in India, how we have SEBI. They issues rules and regulation for the companies who are listed in India, whether in Bombay Stock Exchange or any other stock exchange in India, right? How that company should operate, what all internal control environment the company should have, what all corporate governance and audit committee and other governing committee the company need to make sure they are operating ethically or with the integrity. The management is operating ethically, integrity for the benefit of public at large, because public interest is being involved in that. Same way in US, we have SEC, Security Exchange Commission. They issue similar kind of rules and regulation for all the listed company in United States of America. So how the company need to operate, you get an understanding from the broader perspective. What all rules and regulation you need to follow if you are working in a big MNC? What all internal control environment that company need to maintain if the company is a listed company? What all governance committee that company need to maintain? How many independent director a company should have in a different committee they are forming? How the management need to work with integrity and ethics to maintain the public interest? Those all would be covered in the SEC rules and regulation, and you'll be getting an expertise. These rules and regulations is also the toughest in the world. That means if you get an understanding of these rules and regulation, you can customize yourself in any part of the world. Last but not the least is US taxation. That is very unique feature this US CPA program offer to make you expert in US taxation. It's very hard to find across the globe the people who have expertise in US taxation. And to be very honest, the company which we have seen in the earlier slide, they are looking for the people who have right kind of skill set of US taxation. And they are eagerly waiting to hire the people who have expertise in US taxation. It's very unique feature or unique skill set to have an expertise in US taxation. So that is something, all expertise you will be getting in one stop, that's US CPA. And by doing this, after getting this expertise, you can either work or you can do your own practice, either in accounting domain, finance domain, audit and attestation domain, international taxation, US taxation, business advisory, forensic, and many more domains, to be very honest. You can do job as well as you can do your own practice. And if you want to do your own practice by getting a US CPA license, you get an authority to attest US GAAP financial statement for both private company as well as US listed company under the guidance of AICPA and PCOB. This is all, like you can say, the governing body, expertise, and domains available after doing a US CPA. If you have any question, feel free to write in chat box or make your own note. We can discuss after all the slides. This slide is specifically made for you or customized for you only because we all are Indian commerce student. Couple of things we keep in mind: whether I should go for CA, CS, ICWA after my graduation, or whether I should do like post-graduation program or MBA program, right? These are the general option we have seen in Indian market, which all commerce students generally think about, right? We made a quick comparison summary how these courses or how US CPA course is being different and more beneficial for you compared to Indian Chartered Accountant post-graduation program or MBA program, and how internationally it will help you to make your career across the globe. First thing, if you look at the opportunities across the globe, like we have heard in earlier slides as well, the US CPA opportunities are across the globe, considering all the US-based MNC spread across the globe, and they have memorandum of understanding with most of the country that make it more acceptable across the globe. Whereas we Indian Chartered Accountant, when we go and visit in different country or live in different country, we need to do some or the other additional qualification of that particular country, right? Same way, if you are doing post-graduation program or MBA program in India, if you are not from top 10 or top 20 B school, you'll be end up doing some or the other additional qualification in that respective country. So that's the key differentiating factor. Once you're done US CPA, you probably not need to do any additional qualification to settle anywhere in the world. Second thing is the duration. We all know like CA on an average take 4 to 5 years. I know if you are exceptional performer, you can complete in 3.5 years, but on an average it takes 4 to 5 years, which is like national average data, I can say so. And MBA, we all know it takes 2 years, but US CPA is something which can be easily done in between 6 to 12 months. So it will be saving like 4 to 5 years of your life, which you can earn and settle in your life rather than investing so much time and energy in paying the tuition fees and investing in the study time, right? Third thing, if you look at, it has only 4 exams and 1 level. Whereas like we all know, Indian Chartered Accountant or CS or ICW, any program you look for, they have 20 or more than 20 exams and 3 level, which is your foundation level, IPCC or intermediate level, or the final level, right? Same way in MBA program or PGDBM program, you have 16 to 20 exams, like 4 to 5 exams every semester. And then you have 4 semesters to clear off your MBA program. Whereas in US CPA, you have only and only 4 exams at 1 level. And the most important thing here is flexibility of exam window. Like we all know, in India, the chart CA course, the exams happen in November and May. For CS and ICWA exams happen in June as well as in December. Same way postgrad program, MBA program, the exams happen in June and December. But in US CPA, it's not like that. The exam window is open 365 days in a year. You can sit for any exam, any day, anytime you like it. Can be given exam in morning, afternoon, or post lunch, right? So that's the complete flexibility, or any day in any sequence. It's not like that you need to give all the 4 exam in one go. It's not like that you need to give 1, 2, 3, 4 in a sequence. You can give in any sequence, any day you like it throughout the year. That's the beauty of the examination. And now come to the how tough is it, like most of the student would be worried about how tough it is. Is it like Indian Chartered Accountant? Is it like equivalent to my BCom, or is it equivalent to like MBA or post-graduation program, or how is it? How tough is it? To be very honest, like this is national average pass percentage, which is taken from the NASBA website itself. That is examination body of AICPA. They themselves say the national average pass rate is 50 to 55%. That means if 100 students appear for the USCPA exam, 50 to 55 students pass. And we all know Indian Chartered Accountant or Company Secretary or ICWA, the pass rate is in a 5 to 7%, sometime it go up to 10%. That means it is 8 to 9 times easier than Indian Chartered Accountant, Company Secretary or ICWA course, but it would be slightly tougher than MBA or your BCom for sure. But if you look at average fees which a student end up paying by doing MBA program, if you are doing MBA from a decent college in India, so you'll be end up investing 10 to 20 lakh rupees, and if you are doing MBA from abroad, you end up investing 40 to 50 lakh rupees, right? So that's a key differentiator between like the passing percentage as well as like how tough it is. And now if you look at the compensation part, what is a fresher compensation? We all know for Indian Chartered Accountant, the compensation start, if you are not a rank holder, it start in a range of 5 to 10 lakh rupees. And for MBA, we all know, like if you are not from top 10 or top 20 B school, its starting package is 3 to 7 lakh rupees. Sorry to say about that, but that's the harsh reality. Whereas a US CPA, the fresher compensation in India is 7 to 10 lakh rupees. If you compare with MBA, like in first 2 years, you'll be investing 10 to 20 lakh rupees, and next 3 years, you are just recovering what you have invested in year 1 and year 2. That means in 5 years, you end up earning nothing. Same way for the Chartered Accountant course also, you will be investing some amount of money as well as major amount of your time to pass the CA exam. That means 3 to 4 years or 4 to 5 years, probably you might not be end up saving anything or might not be end up earning anything. Whereas if you do a US CPA for 12 months and after that you will be saving 4 to 5 years of your life, in which you can easily save 40 to 50 lakh rupees. If you see, the opportunity cost is so huge compared to CPA, if you compare the CPA with Indian Chartered Accountant post-graduation diploma or MBA program. And if you are planning to settle in Canada, then you do not need to do any additional qualification. If you are a US CPA, you just need to go to the Canadian CPA Institute and submit your document. Within 24 hours, you will get the Canadian CPA as well. You do not need to do any additional qualification if you are a US CPA and you wanted to go and settle in Canada. And if you look at the compensation part, if you are planning to go and settle in US, the fresher package for US CPA is $55,000 to 70,000 US dollar, which is like 45 lakh rupees to 52 lakh rupees in Indian currency, which is a very decent amount, even though considering cost of living in US. I've been to US for a couple of years. I'm telling you, this is really a good amount for a fresher to start. Same way, if you're planning to go and settle in Canada, the fresher package in Canada for US CPA is in a range of 60,000 Canadian dollar to 75,000 Canadian dollar, which is again equivalent to like 45 lakh rupees to 53 lakh rupees, which is again a very decent amount considering the cost of living in Canada as well. And if you're planning to settle anywhere in Australia or European nation, you'll be getting a fresher package in a range of $50,000 to $70,000, which is again a very decent amount. So I'm sure this is a heavy slide. We covered a lot over here. If you have any question, feel free to type in chat box or maybe pen down in your notebook. So after all the slide, we'll definitely take up all your questions. Now, what all exams, we are talking from a lot, like we have only 4 exams, but these are actually those 4 exams which you need to clear and the exam pattern. The first is financial accounting and reporting. Second, you have audit and attestation. Third, you have regulation. Fourth, you have business environment and concepts. So these are the only 4 exams you need to clear to get the US CPA degree, right? The exams, each exam is a 4-hour exam, but within that you'll be getting a 15-minute break because they understand 4 hour at a stretch giving so much concentration for the exam would be very hard. So they give you 15-minute break which you can utilize to relax or refresh yourself, right? How the exams actually work would be 50% of the exam is multiple choice question and 50% is simulation based question. Multiple choice question, we all know there would be one question and 4 options to it, and you need to select the best possible answer, right? The simulation, like in different exam section, there might be different kind of simulation. For example, financial accounting and reporting. They may give you a trial balance and ask you to draft profit and loss account, or may they give you probably they give you trial balance then ask you to calculate gross profit. They may ask you to calculate profit before tax or something like that. So those kind of simulation you might be seeing in financial accounting and reporting section. And in audit and attestation section, probably they give you a draft audit report with some fill in the blanks, which probably you need to type, or sometime they have drop down menu, you need to select the best fill in the blanks. So these kind of simulation probably you will be seeing in audit and attestation exam. In regulation, you will be having probably they give you the case study of an individual and ask you to calculate the tax, federal tax for the individual taxation. Those kind of simulation you might be receiving in regulation. And in business environment and concept, in addition to simulation, you'll be having a 3 written communication test as well. So in the written communication, they give you a case study and they ask you to draft a corporate letter. It may be some case study, they give you some fact pattern, ask you to write a recommendation letter to CEO, recommendation letter to the CFO, or maybe report to your audit partner about those facts. So they will test how good you are in corporate drafting basically. So these all would be like exam pattern. Now coming to how these exams and how you can say study in these 4 exams is being interrelated and correlated with what we have studied in India, right? In financial accounting and reporting part, audit attestation part, almost 80 to 85% is same what you have learned from 11th standard to your graduation or to your professional study if you have done so. It's almost the same what you have learned in last 5 to 7 years of your life, to be very honest with you. The only difference in accounting you will be seeing the difference between Indian GAAP and US GAAP, or Indian GAAP and IFRS, and some amount of governmental accounting, right? Then in audit and attestation section, you will be seeing only those 10 to 15% difference which we have in Indian auditing standard and US auditing standard and the governmental auditing standard of US. And in regulation section, almost 30% is same what you have learned in India, which include your ethics and business law. These are universal. Across the globe is almost the same what you have studied in India. Only the 70% of the part, which is US taxation, that would be different, would be totally new for you. But some or the other terminology like minimum alternative tax or maybe tax exemption, some of the terminology would be same, but overall calculation would be different, which you might have not learned in Indian curriculum. So almost the 70% in regulation part would be something new you would be learning in this curriculum. And business environment and concept is almost 100% same what you have learned in your 11th standard, 12th standard, graduation, in your MCOM or CA, CS or ICW, any curriculum you have studied so far. So overall, if you see, 70 to 75% is the thing which you have already known. Only 20 to 25% things is you need to learn more to crack these exams. So nothing difficult. It's very, very easy as compared to Indian Chartered Accountant, Company Secretary or ICW course. But yeah, it would be slightly tougher than your BCom, MCom, BBA or MBA program. Any thought or any question, feel free to type in chat box or maybe pen down your note. Moving on to the next item, our 4th agenda item. our third agenda item, how to become a US CPA. Now, so far we understand why I should think about doing a US CPA and what is in US CPA. The next natural thing comes, how I can become a US CPA. First thing for that is, am I eligible to do a US CPA or not? If you are eligible, then only the second and third step will work for you. So first thing is to test whether I am eligible to do US CPA or not. To give a US CPA exam, you are required at least 120 credit. And how this 120 credit actually earned? So every year of your graduation, whether you are BCom or BBA, it's only a commerce graduation, to be very honest with you, not with the science or arts background. For every year of commerce graduation, you'll get 30 credit. That means for 3 years of your graduation, you'll be getting 90 credit. And if you're graduate with more than 60% marks, you'll get additional 30 credit. And then you are being eligible to appear for US CPA exam if you have 120 credit. If you are a graduate with less than 60% of marks, that means you have only 90 credit. In that case, probably you need at least 1 year of additional study in any field of commerce, whether it would be first year of MCOM or first year of MBA, or maybe CS, ICW intermediate, or maybe 1 year of post-graduation diploma in accounting. So that 1 year of additional study will give you additional 30 credit to make you eligible to appear for US CPA exam. So this is something you can do alongside with your study of US CPA as well. For example, if you are a BCom graduate with less than 60% of marks, so you can study CPA parallelly in a year. At the same time, you can do 1 year of post-graduation diploma program, or maybe any MCOM or MBA program with any university, which is 𝐒𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐴 university. So after 1 year, you'll be eligible to sit for exam, and within 1 year, you'll be learning all curriculum of US CPA. So that once you become eligible, within next 3 to 4 months, you can sit for all the 4 exams and get it done, right? And now, like once you are eligible for US CPA exam, next thing comes in your mind, what is the process of getting the admission, right? For the admission, first you need to take the transcript of your bachelor degree, master degree, or any professional degree you have from your institute, college, or university. And then those transcripts you need to send to either to WS, which is World Evaluation Services, or to NASBA, which is examination body of AICPA, to get it evaluated, right? Once those evaluation is done, the third step is admission, which is enrollment. In US, like we discussed, we have 55 states, but out of which only 32 states allow international students to appear for US CPA exam. So you need to get yourself enrolled with the respective state board of accountancy from where you want to do your US CPA, right? So after the admissions, once you get the enrollment, the next thing is examination. So all this admission process it'll take like 3 to 4 months easily, to be very honest with you. If somebody say it take less than 4 months, then probably they are hiding some information. And overall, this process take like 3 to 4 months, and sometimes it take 4.5 or 5 months as well, considering the COVID situation. So without wasting your time, you can start the study alongside with this administration process. So what you need to do for the study, you need to start your study with the learning management software as well as with the live classes, for which we will providing all the support to you. In the next slide, we'll be discussing all the support in the online as well as classroom study, which we give to each and individual student who start their journey for US CPA with us, right? So once you get the admission after 3-4 months, then you can appear for the exam, right? To appear for the exam, what you need to do is to schedule the exam. Earlier, the exams were happening only in US, and in 2017, they have started the Prometric Center in Dubai as well. And now in July 2020, they have started the 8 examination center here in India. So now you can give exam right here in India in all 365 days. And the passing score is 75. So each exam to pass, you need to have at least 75 score. It sounds very high bar, but to be very honest, if you see the number, the national average pass rate is 50 to 55%. It means 100 students appear for the exam, almost 50 to 55 pass. That means probably the number seems 75 very high, but it's very easily achievable. It's not as tough as probably what you have seen in Indian studies style, right? And the next important thing is 18-month passing window. I'll explain this concept with an example. Probably then you can easily correlate what this 18-month passing window is all about. For example, you appeared for the first exam in January 21. So from the day you cleared your first exam, you passed your first exam, within next 18 months, you need to clear rest of the 3 exams. So that is what 18-month rolling window or 18-month passing window says, right? So for example, you cleared your first exam in January 2021. In the second exam, you planned and appear on June 2021. And luckily, the student cleared the second exam in June 2021. And third exam, student has planned and appear in December 21. And luckily, the student has cleared the third exam as well in December 21. And the last exam, the student has planned in June 2022. And unfortunately, that the student has not cleared that exam in June 2022. So the day the student has cleared first exam, which is January 21, from that day to 18 months, which is ending on June 2022, he or she has to clear rest of the 3 exams. But unfortunately, the student has not cleared the 4th exam. So what will happen? The first exam the student has cleared in January 21 will get lapse. That means he or she would have credit for 2 exams, which is second and third exam, which he has cleared in June 21 and December 21. And the rolling window will start from June 21. That means by December 22, he or she need to clear rest of the 2 exams. That means the first exam for which the credit has lost and the last exam which he or she has not cleared. So that's how this examination rolling window actually works. So this is about like eligibility, admission and examination. Then if you are interested, we can share some thoughts on CPA licensing as well. But at very high level, I'll give you a brief. But if you have any specific question about the licensing, feel free to type in chat box. We can discuss more in detail in a Q&A session. So for the license, for examination, 120 credit is sufficient. But for the license, you require at least 130 credit. So we highly recommend the people who are doing US CPA journey with us to take additional 30 credit by doing 1 year of PGDBM program or MCOM or MBA program from any good university or private university, any ANAC university, depending on the pocket of the individual student. So that if in future you want to do your own practice, you want to take the license, you have sufficient credit to obtain the license. First, you should have like 150 credit. Second, you should have passed all the 4 exams. And third is depend on state to state actually. And like we discussed in US, we have 55 states and every state has some or the other different requirement. Some state require you need to give ethic exam for which they charge $150 to $200 and give you the license once you pass the ethic exam. Some states says you should have at least 12 months of experience in accounting, finance, taxation or any such domain in which like CPA actually work. It's not necessary to be under the CPA firm. It's not necessary like an internship. You can do you should have experience in any part of the world in any company you like it. But it should be in those domains in which CPA actually work. And then you can submit your experience certificate to the respective state to get the license. And some states do not require the experience certificate as well. So it depends on, it's very well depend on state to state. Every state do have some or the other different requirement, but we have our licensing team who will help you when you want to take the license. What process respective state should have. Any question you have on this slide, feel free to type in chat box or maybe pen down in your notebook. We'll be happy to answer. Next is, now so far we understand why one should think about doing US CPA, what is in US CPA, and how to become a US CPA. The next thing is come in your mind why we should choose kcglobed as a partner in the journey to become a US CPA, right? So we will be providing 5 key things to you. First is the learning management software, which is mandatory whether you do it from kcglobed or you will do it from XYZ anywhere in the world. Learning management software is something very much mandatory for you to study. And what all we provide in the learning management software will give you 350 plus US professor pre-recorded video lecture, which will be covering all the content for all the 4 sections of exam and all the 4 ebooks, 7700 plus multiple choice question, which is the largest bank anyone have in the world, and 400 plus simulation, which is again the largest question bank we have in our learning management software. And then we'll give you unlimited mock test for you to practice to feel comfortable to appear for exam. In addition to that, we'll provide the live classes, which myself, Surendra sir, and many other professors we have who have like more than 10 to 15 year experience working in India as well as international landscape, majorly on the US based company, so that the theory you would be learning alongside you'll get a practical experience as well, how to apply those theory in future in your practical life. And all these we provide you the unlimited access until you pass. It's not like that you gain the software now and after 12 months, 18 months or 2 years, the software will expire. The software will not expire until you pass the CPA exam. It's not like once you pay for the software, you won't be required to pay for the software and the study material again for sure. What all the features we provide within the software is our software, the surgeon software is based on a very unique technology which is called ASAP technology, and it also have the feature of linear learning program as well. We all Indian students are very accustomed or used to with the linear learning study program, in which we watch all the video recorded lecture to understand each and every concept. We read through complete book to understand, to build our understanding or strengthening our understanding about each and individual concept. And then we go through all the question answer and we practice multiple mock tests. And then we revise and do everything again to feel comfortable or exam ready, right? That's how we invest ton of time. We invest a lot of time and energy, and we get exhausted when we ready to sit for the exam, to be very honest with you. Now today's world, in everything what we do, technology play a biggest role. It's saving a lot of time and energy in every way or everything what we do. Why don't we should use the technology to save our time and energy in our study as well? So that's how the concept of ASAP technology arise. How this technology will actually save lot of your time or even more than 70% of your time what you need to study and pass the USCP exam. Why I'm saying so, in the previous slide when we were on the exam pattern, we have seen all the 4 exam section and the content in all the 4 exam. We have seen almost 75 to 80% is same what you have already learned from 11th standard to your current level of study. Right? So all the basic concept in the CPA exam, you will be seeing all the basic concept as well as technical concept and the complex concept as well. So basic concept may be like posting a journal entry, making like adjustment journal entry, or maybe creating a profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow, which is something is already in your blood, being an accountant or being a commerce student from so many years. So why you need to invest time and energy in learning those things which are already in your blood? That's the reason how this technology actually save more than 70% of your study time and make you exam ready in less than 30% of the time. how it actually works for any exam section. For example, you wanted to study accounts. The software will throw you 350 multiple choice question to test your current level of understanding based on the response you provide to those multiple choice questions. So once you appear for all those multiple choice questions in the assessment, the software in the background will run the algorithm and come back with the ready score. If you appear for the exam today, what would be your ready score? That tell you exactly, which is like 99.99% accurate, what you will be getting in the actual exam, right? And then after, it will give you the list of area where you have performed good, at the same time give you list of area which is most important for you to understand what are the weak areas you have. And then it will customize the study plan so hyper personalized to your individual need. It will give you all the pre-recorded US professor recorded lecture which you need to watch for the area which were weak to build your understanding, and then it will give you only those area which you need to study in the book to build your understanding or to strengthen the area which are weak. And then it will give you all the question answer to practice from the area which identified as a weak, so that you can strengthen those area and feel more confident after doing all the multiple choice question and simulation relating to those area. And then it will pop up the assessment for you, and after doing that assessment you can see the drastic change, what was your original ready score and what is the actual score you got in the assessment. And their assessment is 100% same depiction of the exam what you are actually getting from AICPA. This technology is very well proven in the US for more than 1 lakh students. The student who have studied through this ASAP technology, they have saved more than 70% of their time, which is unique, and it's their trademark technology which no one have at this point of time in the world. So we'll be giving you world-class best software for you to study the USCPA program. And then we give the 5-day free trial to you for the learning management software, which is very user friendly. You can easily customize yourself based on like how the UI is in the software. And then the payment plan also, we have very much flexible payment plan. If you want to buy a software only, you can buy the software and do your self-study for USCPA program. And if you want to study in our live class along with the software, you can take the live classes as well. If you want to start with one particular subject, you can take one particular subject software or one particular subject live classes as well. So we are very flexible in terms of all our offering. And if you want like EMI, we have EMI payment option plans as well. Fourth thing, we'll be providing you the mentor and counselor support. So the mentor support is like we will be aligning the teacher with you, the subject which you are studying, so that during the study, if you have any question, you are free to reach out to the teacher to ask for any clarification or any answer. And the second most important thing is the counselor support, because like how to do USCPA and what is in USCPA which we have learned, there are so many nuts and bolts to fix. You will be definitely requiring a dedicated counselor to help you how to get a transcript, how to get that transcript evaluated, how to select the board, which board you need to select to appear for exam, and how to schedule for your exam, and what all fees you need to pay for this. So we have dedicated counselor team to help you through all the process. In addition to that, if you are planning to appear for exam in Dubai or US, we will support you through the visa and travel process as well. And once you become a USCPA, we'll help you in getting a USCPA license. For that, we have licensing support team. And in future, when you need a continuous professional education, we give those continuous professional education training program as well. All in the nutshell, at the end, we'll be providing you free placement support as well. So that is completely free from our side to all our students to give the placement support. This is all what we provide to each an individual student who start their journey for the USCPA with us. Any question or doubt you have, feel free to type in chat box. We are about to close in next few minutes from the slide deck, and then we'll be investing rest of the time in Q&A section. These all are the university in US. These are top 10 university in the US who are partner with the Surgent in US, and Surgent is partner with more than 150 university in USA. Same way, we are also starting the partnership with many university in India. And these are like in US, like Surgent is also partnered with almost 200 companies in US. These are top 10 brand which you have seen in India as well, have very strong presence. So we are also being partnered with EY, and these all company in which Surgent is partner, and we are also slowly and gradually getting partnership with these companies in India. And then last and most important thing for each and individual Indian candidate is the cost, right? The cost for study would be learning management software will offer to each and individual student at 69,900, which is the lowest price in the world, to be very honest with you. And the live classes at this point of time, we are giving just at 29,900. This is again the lowest price in the world at this point of time. The total fees for the study would be 98,900, which you will be paying to the kcglobed. Rest of the fees, which include transcript, enrollment, examination fees, you will be paying directly to the respective authority. We will be just guiding you the process, how you need to pay, what all form you need to file, but you will be paying from yourself directly to the respective authority. The evaluation fees is $229, which is around 16,875 rupees. And then enrollment fees would be around $100, which is 7,500 rupees. And examination fees, if you are planning to appear for exam in India, it is $565, which is 42,500 per exam. If you take all the 4 exams, it's 1,69,500 rupees. Total fees you need to pay to the outside authority, or you can say AICPA, NASPA, or the state board, is around 1,93,875. And the total cost in your pocket, if you are planning to take the learning management software along with the live classes, it will be 292,000 rupees approx. And if you are only planning to take learning management software and not planning to take live classes, it would be 263,000 approximate cost to your pocket. So that would be your complete investment required for US Cpa program, as compared to MBA, which is 10 to 20 lakh rupees. In India or abroad, it takes like 20 to 40 lakh rupees. And in CA also, you end up paying like 1 lakh to 2 lakh rupees from all your coachings what you invest in India. And but the opportunity cost for either for MBA program, CA, CS, or ICW program is 4 to 5 years, which you will be saving in this by doing a US CPA. And after that, if you want to take license, the ethic examination cost is around $130, and licensing fees is around $150. Probably you may need to invest additional 21,000 rupees. These all US dollar calculation is at the rate of 75 rupees per dollar. After this, if you have any question, we are open. Feel free to note down the number of our counselors and our contact detail. In addition to that, now we have our branch in Bangalore. We'll give you the Bangalore contact detail as well in addition to that, so that you can reach out to the local contact person in Bangalore. We'll type in a chat box for your ready reference. Yeah, we can take up the question answer now.
Yes, we have a few questions from Garvit. Garvit wants to know the difference between US CPA and CPA.
US CPA and
CPA Australia.
CPA Australia. Yeah, they both are different. To be very honest, like I'm not sure like how much content or curriculum and exams we have in Australia, CPA Australia. But like if you are a US CPA, we already have some students who are studying US CPA with us, and they are very well settled in the Australia as well. So we have one student who is currently like in the Deloitte Australia, and we have one more student from the EY Australia as well. So the US CPA is being valid in Australia. They both have like memorandum of understanding. But to be very honest, I'm not much aware of the entire curriculum of Australia CPA.
We had another question from Garvit, that will the CA curriculum help him in this US CPA. So as explained in the slide, Garvit, the CA curriculum covers a huge lot of what US CPA has. So down the line, 80% down the line, you will be having all good knowledge before you can step into giving the
Yeah,
exam for
yeah.
US CPA.
Yes, Garvit, for sure. Like I'm also Indian chartered accountant, like Santosh, Surinder sir, who all are like our faculty. We all already like from 2003 to 2008 qualified chartered accountant. It actually helped us like when we did CA and when after that we appeared for like CPA examination. It actually helped. It give us a solid base of accounting, audit, and you can say business understanding. But there is no exemption for Indian CA to appear for US CPA program. Indian CA do have exemption for like I think for the Australia CPA or maybe for the Canada CPA, but for US CPA there is no exemption.
Also, Garvit wanted to know that if he's a freshly qualified chartered accountant and a BCom honors, is he eligible from DU? So I would
Yes.
like to tell him that DU is falls into a NAC A category, and your 3 years spent over BCom graduation has given you 90%. If you have scored a first division, you have been awarded with another 30 points. So 90 points plus 30 points makes 120, and you are a chartered accountant, you will be given 60 more. So not only you are fit for sitting for the USCP examination, but also for the license requirement. So you don't need to worry. We have a question from Madhu that she doesn't have any experience in auditing. So after CPA, can she apply for audit?
Yes, for sure. Why not? You get an
And
expertise in audit by doing a US CPA program, so you can move your career to the audit field as well.
and there's a question that what is the salary initially after CPA?
Yeah, so two things here. Like for a fresher, it's in the range of 7 to 10 lakh rupees in India, and in US or Canada, it would be in a range of like 50 to $55,000 to $75,000. And if you have experience, definitely your salary will based on your experience in addition to the fresher salary.
Okay, sir, you can check that if there are any question in your chat box because I got disconnected and my not a host anymore. So if you can check, there is some chat.
One second, one
Yeah.
second. Yeah, I also have like 8 points in chat box.
Okay.
So this is from Garvit. Will our online tutorial like kcglobed help in admission enrollment process? Yes, we would be helping you throughout the process. We have dedicated counselor team to help you in getting the transcript, like what is the process of transcript in your respective university, and then like how to get those transcript evaluated either through NASBA or through WES, wherever you want. And then we'll be helping you in selecting your board in which you wanted to appear for the exam. And then after that, if you want license also, we have like separate licensing team to help you with the licensing process as well. And then please explain the 18-month rolling window. So Garvit, would that clear to you in the slide, or you need again explanation about that 18-month rolling window? Garvit, you
Brief
can
introduction.
say that again.
Brief introduction, basically.
Yeah. So okay, I'll explain that again. What we said, like for example, the first exam you appear in January 21. And you clear your first exam in January 21. From that day to next 18 month, which is ending on June 22, you need to clear rest of the 3 exam. So if you have not cleared all the 3 exam in next 18 months, the first exam will lapse. How I have explained, like for example, in January 21, you cleared your first exam, and then you appear for next exam in June 21, and you clear your second exam, and then third exam you appear for December 21, and you cleared the third exam. So you are going in a same pace of 6 months every exam, let's say, and then you have given fourth exam in June 22, and unfortunately you have not cleared that fourth exam. So what would happen? Your first exam, which you have cleared in January 21, will get lapsed, and the rolling window will start from the day you cleared your second exam, which is in June 21. So from June 21 to next 18 months, you should have cleared rest of the 3 exams. That means the exam you have cleared in June 21 and December 21 will hold good. But the first exam or the last exam, first exam will lapse, and the last exam which you have not cleared, these 2 exams you need to appear in next 6 months between like June 22 to December 22. Does this answer your query, or you need some more
Yes, sir.
explanation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you, sir.
Cool, thank you. And Ishita Dhawan, how would a combination of CA and US CPA go in a long run? This is awesome to have it. To be very honest with you, Ishita, this is a gateway to the global. Whether you are in job or you wanted to do your own practice, it's a gateway to global market, to be very honest with you. I myself, like Surinder sir is also here, like who is also like Indian Chartered Accountant and CPA. We are working in both like Indian landscape as well as across the globe Indian international landscape because of this dual degree program. The CA will give you the so much core strength of your understanding about auditing, accounting, costing, and many more domains. And then CPA will give you the market opportunity at large across the globe. So it's a deadly combination. If you are already a CA, you must have to do CPA, to be very honest. And almost like 45 to 50% of our student is already a chartered accountant in the age bracket of 21 to 46, to be very honest. There is no age limit to do this program. I myself have done in the age of 36. And then we have another question. One second. Ishita, does this answer your question?
Yes, sir, it does. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Then Garvit have one more question. Does CPA exam lapse if you don't take CPA license? No, exam will not lapse. So you'll be considered as a qualified CPA, but for licensing, there is requirement, I think for international student within 3 year or within 5 year, if you want to appear for license, if you want to do the practice within 3 year or 5 year, you need to get the license from the day you cleared your all 4 exam. Does this answer your question, Garvit?
Yes, sir. Means if we don't take license in the next 3 years, we won't be able to obtain it after those 3 years.
Yes, I think so. Only for licensing, but
Okay.
otherwise you are a qualified CPA. You can do job anywhere in the world, but for licensing there is a requirement, I think so.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and then for US, I know it's 7 year from the qualification date. For international student, I'm not sure it's 3 year or 5 year, but I can get back to you on that. And then we have Avneet. Is there minimum number of days between each exam, or can I take exam within few days? Yeah, there's no minimum day, but one exam you cannot give in same month. For example, if you appear for one exam in January first week, and unfortunately you are not cleared, so you cannot appear the same exam in the month of January. You can appear the exam only in the month of February or later than that. But otherwise, you can appear for any number of exam any day you like it. Does this answer your question, Avneet? Okay, next question I have from Garvit. Will live classes be online or face-to-face? Considering this COVID situation, we are giving classes on Saturday, Sunday, 11 to 4 p.m. on the Zoom call like this. If you want to see how the class are happening, we will share a link for like any recent class to you, how everyone is like how interactive the class is and how comfortable each and every student work with us. Can you describe about finance career after a US CPA abroad? Yeah, so Garvit, again, like in the US CPA, you will be getting a domains, many domains, whether in audit domain, accounting domain, finance domain, international taxation domain, US taxation domain, business advisory domain, merger, acquisition, forensic. So any such domain in which generally, like in India, we Indian Chartered Accountant work, the same domain across the globes are open for you after doing a US CPA. Does this answer your question, Garvit, or any other question you have?
Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
So I think these are all questions I have. But anyone have any further question, feel free to speak up, unmute themselves and speak.
Yeah, Kamal, this is Santosh here. See, this is a question, where I often hear from the students where I teach. They're going to ask me. I mean, this is multiple question actually. The first question is, so they are kind of average student. When they say average student, they are getting 60% in all their degree and in their master degree. So what happens if they get that 60% or if they have a backlog actually? So will that impact any credit points?
Yeah, so like if the student is graduate with more than 60% marks, then like he'll be getting a 120 credit whether he has any backlog which is cleared now. If it's still backlog, then he or she will not get the credit. But if he or she has cleared all the backlog, then he is equivalent to a graduate. So if he is a graduate with more than 60%, he is being completely eligible from 𝐂𝐸 University.
Okay. And the second question is, is it only, is CPA only available for, commerce graduate, or it is available for other graduate also, like BSc?
No. It's only for BBA, BCom, BCom honors, or like BCom pass, or any different fashion in the different part of the India. We say like, but it's only for the commerce graduate which have sufficient and relevant, you can say, accounting credit as well as business credit in their examination.
Yeah, and last question, this is I just jotted down the question. So I join CPA, and for some reason actually I'm not able to clear my CPA. Then what will be my status actually? If in CA they say that if they're not able to complete, at least they say IC what is that, inter qualified or inter cleared. But in CPA, if I'm not able to clear the entire 4 papers, so how I will be called as? How the market will kind of take me actually? Whether I have any hold against the people who have not done anything actually.
Yeah, I know. Either you are a CPA or not CPA, to be very honest with you. So there's no midway, because like in Indian study cycle, there are different levels. It's just a one level. 4 exam, one level. In India, you have like CPT, intermediate, or IPCC, whatever you call, and then final. So every level they give some credential and value and certification. But here it's only a one level. So either you are this side of the border or that side of the border, nothing in between.
And I would like to add that whenever people, I mean, for some reason actually that should not happen, but for some reason if they're not able to clear the CPA, and I mean they would have written 1 or 2 times and many more times, I think the knowledge what they get here, and they can showcase in their career, in the company. That's what wherever they join for the job and other things, I think they can kind of showcase that knowledge what they get it from here. That's what I feel.
Yes. So I think Devanshika Kalra has one question, like, is MCOM and CPA is got good combination? Yes, definitely. You'll be getting a like many wings to lead in your career, or maybe expand your career in many domains like we discussed. And CPA will help you to reach to the top management, to be very honest with you, after the MCOM.
Also, I have few questions while I was um, talking to a lot of aspirants. Is that if they are a working professional, how do they cope up with their time management and to as to studies?
Yeah,
Because
no,
Sundays and Saturdays you're going to take away for the sessions.
yeah.
So
So I know like a lot of working professional also came in our class. So what we suggest to them, like, just invest 2 hours diligently, to be very honest with you, Monday to Friday, and like 10 hours, like which we give class on Saturday and Sunday. I think if they can chalk out 20 hours in a week from their schedule, they can easily complete USCPA in like 8 to 9 months, or at the max 10 months. So we generally complete like each and individual subject in on an average in 2 months, except like financial accounting and reporting, which is the largest, or you can say very long subject, take like more than 3 months. But other than that, all the classes can be done in 2 months, and within those 2 months, he or she can simultaneously practice what he or she has learned in the class, and then in 10 to 15 day of break, he can clear each and individual exam.
I request the participants if they have any question. Okay, so we are good to conclude the session, but I request all the participants if you have any afterthoughts and questions, you can call us at our number and also write us an email. We'll make the best of our effort to reply to you as soon as possible. And so here we can close the session.
For sure. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time and patience, patiently listening us. Hope this session would be like informative for all of you. Thank you very much.